all moms want to be super moms, but I think all moms make super mistakes. And the neat thing is, it's okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Y Project. Let us introduce you to our host today. My name is Taryn Glass, and here we have Michelle.
Hello.
And we have the wonderful Frankie.
What's up?
And we have a special guest today on our special Mother's Day episode, and her name is Debbie.
And I'm the mom today.
Yay!
You're a mom every day. I hear you're a super mom.
Very
That's
much
true. I am a mom every day.
So, Debbie, we're going to ask you a couple questions about yourself. So, tell us, how long have you been a mother?
Almost 37 years now.
So, Debbie, tell us how many kids you have.
I have 3 children, 3 grown children, and an awesome daughter-in-law.
Aw, she's talking about me. Debbie is David's mom from the other show, The Future This Week, on the channel FutureX, the channel you're on right now. So, Debbie, tell us a little bit about your family role and how you were as a mother.
Well, when the kids were little, I got to stay home and raise them, which was absolutely awesome. I did a lot of homeschooling. We did really fun stuff. We'd go to the library and pick out books for each letter of the alphabet, and we'd read, you know, a book. We'd get books like the letter A. We'd get alligators and apples and airplanes, and it was so much fun. And so that's how we would do just when they were little, and I loved staying home. I just enjoyed very much teaching them and being with them, and it was very challenging. They are very strong-willed, and but we had a lot of fun. And then when they got a little older, I did go through a divorce, and fortunately their daddy was an awesome dad and stayed in touch, but I took on the role of being a single mom, and that was a different life.
Yeah. I definitely know, coming from a single parent background, like how challenging that is for a mom. And you know, it was just me. I can imagine with 3 kids, like how much you must have had on your plate. It's incredible. So tell us a little bit about how you raised your kids, your like cultural background a little bit, and your religious background included in that.
Well, when they were small, we were involved in the Christian faith, and we went to church all the time, and all our holidays centered around that, and we had lots of traditions, tons of traditions. And as far as other cultures, we come from a German and Dutch background, and tried to bring in other cultures and languages, tried to expose them to lots of children around the world. We would read books about children around the world, and we would experience some of the traditions and celebrations that they would do also.
All right. Sounds awesome. I know you're an incredible mom because your son just gushes about you all the time. So we're going to continue to kind of pick your brain about your motherhood experience, and I'm going to start off by asking you, like, what was one of your favorite experiences about being a mother?
Well, I think probably one of my very favorite memories is that every summer we would go and see my mom down in Florida, and she lived near the beach. She was in a retirement home. She was only 2 blocks from the beach, and it was a teeny tiny apartment. And she had a couch and a little tiny refrigerator and kitchen area and 1 bedroom and 1 bath. And she would stay out on the couch at night, and we would all share her bed. And as the kids got bigger, usually Stephen, the youngest, ended up on the floor. But going to sleep at night was always challenging because although we had a blast at the beach, we'd be really, really tired. We'd get into bed, and everybody would try to settle down. And inevitably, there would be bodily noises, or there would be giggles, or there would be shifting, and then the giggles would start. And we would giggle and giggle and giggle, and my poor mom would be out in the living room going, "Hey, shh, hush, I'm trying to sleep." and that would make us giggle all the more. It was really, really hard. And we had the best times back there trying to share one bed amongst all of us with the giggles. That, and then just being at the beach itself was awesome. We took the best walks, and my kids are such talkers and little philosophers, and we had such wonderful times playing in the waves. And when they were little, we would go out pretty deep and jump in the waves and have fun and play Superman, you know, where you fly out of the top of the wave and you do Superman and you splash down. And I taught them all those things from when we were growing up, when I had grown up at the beach. And my youngest was small, and we would make him come out deep, and I'd always encourage him, come on, you can do it, you can do it. Well, poor little thing, he half drowned most of the time, but we ended up having a blast.
Well, that sounds incredible. I mean, you know, being a Florida girl myself, I've had some of those Florida beach experiences, but oddly enough, I'm a Florida girl that doesn't like to go into water. I don't know how that happened. I'm like one of those Florida people who go to the beach and they look pretty.
Wow.
Whatever. Florida is water time. Florida is water time.
We make sandcastles. Does that count?
Okay. Definitely.
What was something about being a mother that you were not expecting?
I think I was not expecting how strong-willed my children would be and still are. It still surprises me. They became very opinionated, very, very young, and that shocked me. I think I had expected to have more time to mold and shape and influence them, and boy, they were right there with their little opinions very, very young, and that was very surprising. And then I think the other thing that surprised me in later years was that even though I made terrible, terrible mistakes and really bad judgment in some things, my kids still turned out awesome. And that is a big surprise to me. I thought if you blew it as a parent, that was it. Your kid was going to end up being Jack the Ripper or something, and it's just not so.
Well, I can attest to you having wonderful kids, being around them, and being around one of them every day. I chose to marry one.
I've heard you are a super mom.
Oh, well, that's very sweet, but I'm a super mom, maybe, who made super mistakes. all moms want to be super moms, but I think all moms make super mistakes. And the neat thing is, it's okay.
So I'm kind of curious myself. My mom raised 3 kids. She was also a, I mean, my dad lived nearby, so you know, they shared custody of us after they divorced. But my mom was taking 3 kids to the grocery store, and we were all within 5 years apart. And to her, that was like a big task. She was always breaking us up, stopping arguments and fights. So I'm like really curious. What was your how did you break up sibling fights? Like, what did you do? How did you approach it?
Oh, if only you could interview my kids. They would have some stories. But one of the things I used to make them do, and I assure you they hated it passionately, is I would make them say to the other person, and remember now, I've already laid the groundwork that I have extremely strong-willed children, right? Mm-hmm. So I would make these extremely strong-willed children say to one another, you might be right and I might be wrong. Now you can only imagine how well that would go over. And so they were not allowed to come out of their room and play until they could say that to the sibling that they had trouble with. Well, they spent a lot of time in their rooms. Yeah, that was one of the things. Oh, it was, yeah. It did not work well, but it kept peace in the house because everybody stayed in their own rooms, or they had a place in the house to go to when they didn't have their own rooms. And then in the car, that became a real challenge because we had these long drives down to the beach to get to my mom's, and we would sing and we would make up games and we would do all this fun stuff, and then everybody would get on each other's nerves. And my daughter sat beside me in the front, but the two boys were in the back. And they would pick and fight and poke. Mom, he's poking me. That became a big thing. So I finally, one day, I brought masking tape, and I put it down the middle of the back seat. And I said, you stay on your side, you stay on your side. And for about 30 minutes, that worked, and then we started with the, he's touching the masking tape. He's looking out my window. Oh, Lord. Really?
I'm touching you. I'm not.
Parents, stay on your side of the box. Don't get in my box.
Exactly. And he's looking at me. Really? Really, he's looking at you? So then it became, okay, look out your own window. Don't touch the masking tape. There were always challenges.
Oh my goodness. That just makes me excited for future motherhood because that sounds like a riot. So, with you having...
it's really fun looking back on it.
I'm sure. With you having 3, what were your thoughts when you first found out you were pregnant?
I was always very excited and very scared. Very scared that I might mess this kid up, you know? And very excited at the possibility that there was a new person coming in, you know? It was so neat. So...
You're watching it, and then you just go back, wait a minute, those were 2 guys, and they had a baby. That's my boys. Go. So I have to say, I was really pleased to see that. When they said whole